right, it's cold today. All right, shalom, shalom. I'm gonna say, call on Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the God of Gods. Let me see, make sure that I'm being heard. The Lord of Lords, the God of Gods, my Father in heaven, giving much praises and honor to his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Much love to the elect, whoever they may be among Israel. Shout out to the prophets that's putting in that work, whoever they may be in Israel. Much love to the Akim, the brothers that's in the word. And you go to the highways and byways, you do your videos to the best of your abilities. You do everything in your power to show Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that you fear him and you love him. And much love to the beautiful Aquaf, the beautiful women that's in the truth. And it's not a lot of you guys, but much love to the ones that are in the truth and come into the truth. And whether you got a man or not, you still fear the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh. You listen and learn in silence. Now at a time more than ever. Today's title is called Atrocities. And right now, it's a lot of people that's doubting the truth and the word that's coming about the Negroes and the Mexicans and the Indians being the true children of Israel. And it's a lot of the white people that say that they shouldn't have to suffer for what their ancestors did and they past mistakes. And there's too many proofs out there to prove that these guys deserve what they deserve, their punishment, and that they are their ancestors. And then you got a lot of infighting from the from our own people. You know, the Mexicans and the Indians is attacking the the Mexicans and the Indians and the Negroes is attacking each other. Mainly right now what brought to my attention is the Hispanics right now, because they're going through a lot of punishments from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, these deportations from white people that's catching them and deportating them back into their quote-unquote country, when we all know America is their country. But they want to blame, instead of them going against the enemy and the slave driver, which is the white man, they go against their own people, and they still segregate themselves from black people. From we are all Israelites at the end of the day. My bad for the subtitles, but I'm just being straightforward. You know, from being with us, they want to be able to subjugate themselves with white people, and white people just showed them that they are natives. They are not white people. Even though we know the stories, you know, about the events in Spain, and probably when they came to Mexico, they done had sex with them and changed their genetics and altered skin color to make them look like now the children is coming out, you know, white and looking white, but which is ultimately true. So it's a great majority of them that are white, you know, but at the same time, the majority of the ones that are black is overpowering that, and they are the natives of the land, but they seem to try to abandon their nationality to join white people, because they feel like some of them feel like they white. But now they've been deceived, and now they've been double-crossed. And right now, lately, these white people that are in power, and you know, most of the white people are starting to show their horns and their racism towards blacks and the Indians and the Mexicans, all together, all of us as a whole. And they still don't get the picture. You know, a lot of the Mexicans nor the Indians, they don't get the picture that we are all the same. We all the children of Israel. And they choose, and lately the black man being bashed for no reason at all by his own people, by his own followers, and these people want to stay in league with the white man, and he's coming out of power. You know, he's losing the narrative, he's losing money, he's going broke. You know, everybody is finding out that he is the criminal. Everybody is finding out that he is the murderer, the slave driver. You know, he's still doing it right now. Like I said, with our Israelite brothers, the Mexicans, he's still doing it right now. You know, slave driving them, locking them away in certain parts of the land. putting them in concentration camps. Them, as far as I know, them the first niggas to be put. Sorry about that. To be put in concentration camps, to my surprise, and like they said, all kinds of things, horrible things are happening to them, and there is nothing new under the sun. It was then, it's now. So I'm gonna get some chapters, and I think I'm gonna hop in Apocrypha. I ain't been in this book in a while, and get some chapters out of there to show you some atrocity. Well, to show you an atrocity that I read in the story, like a bad event, some real racist shit that went down in the ancient times, and it's still today, you know. And I had a dream, well, a vision that about famine. You know, one of the judgments that's coming down on this land. That I went to go grocery shopping, and I went to specifically the meat part, and there was no meat, none of it. It was no meat there. It was nothing, you know, and it was a lot of ice bins and refrigerators that were empty, and the only thing that I saw was a whole bunch of snacks and shit and chips and shit. But that's not truly edible, you know. But the main source of what everybody needs is meat, you know, to keep meat on their bones and to keep their bodies fat and healthy, or however, you know. But that is the main source of being consumed by the population. And all I saw was one column of meat. That was all that was left, you know. And that's a sign from Yahweh Shem Yahushai that he gonna pass judgment on this land, and I'm gonna be there during that event too. I'm gonna live to see that, you know. And on top of that, you know, that's Yahweh Shem Yahushai communing with those of us that believe, and constantly reminding us and constantly showing us what's gonna happen in the future, you know. And a lot of these things that's about to happen is you got to be prepared for it. You got to be already in the know. You know, like right now, rumors is going around that they want to shut down TikTok because TikTok is sharing a lot of information about the truth about the Israelites, and the truth about slavery. You know, waking brothers up, waking people up, and these crimes and these different horrific events that these white people have done to our people is constantly reminding them. The past is always constantly haunting them, but they want to be at peace, and at the same time they low-key not, but they want everybody to be at peace, you know, to get along and to forget, and let's move on. That don't got nothing to do with us no more. That was all in the past. And actually it wasn't too long ago. Like, we barely in 2025, man. Come on now, the 90s wasn't that far, and in the early 90s, prior to like the mid 90s, there was a lot of racism going on. You know, there was a lot of segregation. There was a lot of riots. You know, things going down in Louisiana. A lot of shit happening in Jamaica. You know, stories about Wall Street being burnt up, and that was before. But I'm just saying, like, this isn't far. This isn't a long time ago. That's what I'm trying to say. Nothing. It wasn't a long time ago. This wasn't that long ago. So, you know, for them to say that, you know, we got to remind them of the monsters that they truly are. You know, even the good ones. You still inherit what your people have done. You are your ancestors. It don't matter. You know, so we could get some of this if I could find it. The Apocrypha, if I can find it. We can read some of this. It says the first book of Maccabees. It says, and it happened after that Alexander the son of Philion the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten King Darius the king of Persia and Medes. It says, and it says, and that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. It says, and many wars, and made many wars and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth. This is Alexander the Great during his campaign when the white man took over the world at one point in time in the past. It says, and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations. It says, so much that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. It says, and he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations, kings who became tributaries unto him. So what the white man did in the past, he also did in today's time. So he conquered a lot of nations. He took over a lot of shit, you know, and right now, as if we know it, America is the capital, and this is the white man's throne. So he ruling the world at this moment, again, like he ruled in the past. So it says, and he gathered the mighty host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he would die. It says, wherefore he called his servants such as were honorable, and he had brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdoms among them, while yet he was alive. God damn it. I'm trying to read it, but it's hard. This damn wind. It's not a foldable book, it's old school, so I can't fold it too much or I'm gonna ruin it. It says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and died, and his servants bare rule, everyone in his place. Okay, it says, and after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. It says, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied upon the earth. It says, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king. It says, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of Greeks. So the Greeks is the white people still. So now today you can still see they architect in their buildings, from, you know, the White House to courthouses, you know, to county buildings, you know, all this architect from ancient Greece, because they are the same people, you know. So it says, and in those days went there out Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. Since we departed from them, it says, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. It says, then a certain of them, come on, man, fuck. It says, it's so windy. It ain't that bad, but it's irritating. It says, so then a certain of them were forward herein. It says that they went to the king. It says, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. So it's a lot of our people that's doing that even to this day. They're going to go get join a white man in his studios, his movies, you know, going into sports, knowing that they got to join up with the white man in sports. You know, it's a lot of them. We call them sellouts, and they sell out to the white man because they don't want to live a harsh life, and they don't want to live broke, and they don't want to live in hell no more. So they go up and try to buy their way into heaven pretty much, because the white man is in heaven, which is rulership and richness, and he in the fats of the earth. So a lot of black people, they sell out and they go with him. So it says, and made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief. Now the kingdom was established before Antiochus. He thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have dominion of 2 realms. So it says, whereof because the realms, these realms are no different from the worlds, like Yahushua said, and he made the worlds also. So it can even be intermediate worlds, like the world of the Israelites, the world of the white man, the world of the Japanese. Different countries are different realms, different ways of life, and so on and so forth. So it says, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion of 2 realms. It says, wherefore he entered into Egypt a great multitude with chariots and elephants and horsemen and a great navy, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt. But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death. It says, thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and took the spoils thereof. And after Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 143rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem again. Went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude. It says, and entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar and the candlestick of light and all the vessels thereof, and the table of the showbread, and the pouring vessels, and the veils, and the censers of crowns, and veils, and the crowns, and the ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. So he went and fought against us in ancient times, and broken and pretty much whooped our ass, and broken and robbed us, and took all of the holy things, that belonged to us, all of the artifacts, all of these things that were given to us from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So now it says, he also took the silver and gold and the precious vessels, and he took the hidden treasures which he found. It says, and when he had taken it all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre, and spoken very proudly. So he slaughtered a lot of our people. He slaughtered a lot of the children of Israel in those times. And these are the same white people today, and the same now. And then I'm gonna get another atrocity that they did, but I want to read further and see what I find. It's been a minute since I read this book. It says, therefore there was a great mourning in Israel in every place where they were. It says, therefore there was a great mourning. No, it says, so that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed, and every bridegroom took up lamentation. It says, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. It says, the land was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. It says, and after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the city of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude with the army. And it says, and he spake peaceable words unto them, but was all deceit. So that's what's happening now. And that's what happened with, Donald Trump and all of them. They spoke words of peace and in hope to the niggas that wore them MAGA hats. But a lot of the laws that are going to come through, and a lot of these things that are going to happen, are against them and only against them. So right now they getting into it. Pretty much Israel is getting into it. We're getting into it with everybody right now, because a lot of people feel like they deserve to be here, and a lot of people feel like we ain't nothing, you know, based off media and the rumors, and a lot of people that's coming out here like these wicked Arabs, you know, these Chinese people, you know, Japanese people, Indians from Indonesia, you know, other white people that's coming from overseas. A lot of them feel like we ain't shit. And if it wasn't for us creating a foundation during slavery, none of and during after that time, when they start letting in people that's coming overseas from other nations, they actually built their wealth off the backs of the Israelites. And they wouldn't be rich and they wouldn't have what they have without us. So you got Chinese people owning stores in the hood. You got the dirty ass Arab man. I hate him because I deal with this Arab at the 7-Eleven, and he racist and he hate all blacks. He hate them all, but he got to cater to them and do customer service to them because they got a lack of employment. So he one of their main employees, and this motherfucker treat black people like they ain't shit, raising their voice at him. Some of these black people ready to whoop his ass, bro. And he pretty big. He think he can stand his ground, but that don't matter. Some of these wicked ass 2/3 is murderers, and they'll kill you over your insults. But you know, I hate him, you know, because even the people that's trying to pass through, he treat them niggas like they ain't shit. Racism, you know. So I don't like Arabian people. I don't like them. You know, I don't like the Jews. I don't like none of them because they are racist and they don't have no right to even fucking be out here, you know. And like I said, they come out here and they put their stores in the ghettos, or they come out here and they work in these hoods, you know, and they suck the lifeblood out of the children of Israel so they can have their own gain. They can have a better life out of their shitty third world countries, you know. And some of these countries are not under the shadow of America, so they dumb broke, you know. And they come out here to for their help. So right now, the black people are clapping back, you know, and the Asians too. They clapping back, and a lot of people is starting to look stupid, you know, because they got to understand something. Y'all wouldn't have what y'all have if it wasn't for the children of Israel. This is actually our country. We are the foundation, and on the low, we run every goddamn thing like we've been doing since slavery. White people ain't got up and lifted no damn finger, bro. During slavery, they didn't have to work. There was no such thing as a white bum during slavery, bro. There was no such thing as a homeless white man during slavery, you know. Even though now today you see it, but I'm just saying back then they all was rich. They all had money. You got to understand that, bro. And they didn't have to work. There were no jobs for them. All they did was sit down and force us to work. And we made millions. And it is like that today. And you got these fucking white people in these different corporates with these other nations running around starting shit and taxing everything and taking all the money from everybody because what happened during slavery put their ass up in power, but they wouldn't be there if it wasn't for us, you know. So right now that, you know, Israel is fighting against these nations, and they all racist. They didn't do their homework. They just believe what the white men have projected through the media that's on the other side, you know, overseas. Oh, black people are criminals, black people are evil, you know, Israelites, you know, Negroes, Mexicans, and the Indians, y'all, they wicked, you know, the niggas, stay away from them, you know, and it's a lot of them. And then what make it worse is that it's from generation to generation. So the old teach the